With any crowning eventually comes a baby, and with every baby eventually comes temper tantrums, and with every temper tantrum apparently comes another crowning. Such is the circle of life, apparently. Welcome back to the Kiki. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me again this week for the finale of the Kiki of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 2. Another finale. All the finales of everything. So yeah, this is it, guys. This is the last episode. Apart from the reunion, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a Kiki for the reunion because it's kind of like a bunch of tea being spilled anyway. So I don't know if I'm going to be back next week. So if not, boo cry. Oh my god, we're done for another season. So this episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 2, missing the finale, the crowning. So I haven't actually made any notes of this because I was like, I just want to enjoy the episode. So yeah, we're going to go straight into this. The girls come back into the workroom. DETOX. I'm just getting so confused with the fact that I feel like Alaska has won every sodding challenge. DETOX sent home Alyssa in a very controversial decision to keep Roxy in the competition because they were best friends. KATYA reveals that she was going to kick off Roxy. I actually thought she was going to kick off Alaska. Oh well, but there we go. Can you imagine if she did that? Oh my god, the outrage. So Roxy's still there. Alaska's like, Alyssa should have stayed, Roxy should have gone home. I'm like, that's funny, because I don't remember you saying that when you kicked off Alyssa and Tatiana twice to save Roxy, but there we go. Ooh, girl. So they, getting ready for the next day or whatever it is. And I can't remember which way round it was. I think it was before Michelle came in. Either way, we're going to talk about this first. So there's a bit where Alaska is sat with Roxy and DETOX, and they're talking and kikiing and stuff, and then all of a sudden, Alaska, suddenly it hits her that she is in Alaska Talks, and it's happening all over again, and she gets into this sort of pseudo fight with DETOX, saying how, like, the last time it was the three of us and a lovable weirdo, look how that turned out for us. And it was like, DETOX's reaction was like all of us. Am I right? Just that kind of, bitch, shut up. Like, where's this come from? So it certainly felt a bit cold from Alaska. And that's something that I've said before, and it's something that I think has kind of run through the series as a whole with Alaska. It's that charm that she had before and that vulnerability that she had in season 5. Although she had strengths, she was still a bit vulnerable. That's gone. She is kind of cutthroat this season. She's very much focused on the crown, and it's like, I don't know, she's still funny, but there's something missing, a little bit of warmth. Everything she says seems to come across a little bit brutal and cold, and I'm like, well, I get it, you're in the competition to win, it's what everyone's there for, really, but you don't have to be so, I don't know, obvious about it. Is that bad that you're being so obvious or so focused? I don't know, really. If in actuality, it's probably a good thing that she's so focused on the crown. But then in terms of making a TV show, you kind of want her to have a bit more warmth. Anyway, we digress. So it was a bit of an awkward argument, really. And it kind of just really highlighted the difference between Alaska and her way of approaching the competition versus DETOX, Roxy and KATYA. So, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, awkward. So then Michelle comes in, she reveals what the plan is for the next 2 days, and oh my god, they've got a lot to do. Like, it feels like there's a lot to do in a short amount of time. So they've got to write and perform a rap in the studio, they've got to choreograph a dance routine, they've got to, I can't remember what else there was now, there was something else. They've got to, do a podcast with Ru and Michelle for What's the Tea. The list just seemed to go on and on. And I was like, that's a lot to do in a day. So they start doing that. They write their rap lyrics. DETOX is obviously going to slay this because she does rap anyway. They go to record with AB Soto, who, oh my god, like, what the hell was he wearing? Like, I kind of loved it in a very much, like, I'm a liberal kind of guy. Like, you wear whatever the fuck you want. And I probably shouldn't say that with YouTube's new standards, but you wear what you want, Henny. And own that shit, and he owns it, but at the same time I'm like, although he kind of looks adorably cute in it, part of me is like, what the hell is that? Like, no, a United States of America flag jumpsuit, sparkle, rhinestone, glitter the house down boots, like, on paper, yes, In person, I'm not sure. Um, it was kind of cute. I kind of liked it. Deep V-neck plunge as well. Even Michelle would have been jealous about how deep that plunge was. So I'm kind of living for it, but I'm kind of also like very aware that anyway, so they're doing all their raps and stuff, blah, blah, blah. The podcasts are quite funny. Rue kind of calls out Alaska for Alaska Talks and for her tantrum, as does Michelle. Detox's interview was quite good. Katya's was really funny. There was like a clear connection there, and she was able to explain a little bit more about her demons, as it were, and the voices and little Brenda in her head, like shut up, Brenda. And that was that. The choreography, that was cool. That was real cool because all the others kind of struggled a little bit. And then Katya walks out and she's like, bitch, I got this. And they're like, yeah, we want you to do a split. And the dancers are helping her, and she's there just like, I can go lower than that. Like, honey. And so there's this moment where the girls are like laughing about it, and then suddenly they see what Katya can do, and they're like, oh shit, we're in trouble. So that was really, really cool. Katya scored those queens. And then, what else? I mean, there was just so much going on. I probably should have made notes, but I was just like, I don't really want to for this one, so sorry about it. Yeah, so then we get to the next day, and they're talking about, I don't know, they're just getting ready and stuff, and it's at this point that the edit for Alaska starts to go a bit different, and it sort of almost looks like they're trying to do a redemption storyline. Sorry, I can't really talk well today. Kind of doing like a redemption storyline, and she sort of accepted the fact that she was a bit of a tantrum, well, she had a bit of a tantrum, she was a bit of a brat, and all that kind of jazz, while they're getting ready to do their performance. And Alaska's like doing this whole blue skin get up, and I'm like, I don't really see it. What is she going for? I don't get it. Like, Detox did the silver skin earlier on, and that was amazing. And I'm just like, this one, I don't know, it just feels like it's been done. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it, if I'm really honest. I didn't really like it that much. It must sound like I'm really ragging on Alaska. I'm not. We'll talk about that later on. So the performance, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, I have watched that so many times, especially Katya's bit. Oh my god, so good. So Alaska's rap was really, really good. She's done that kind of thing before. She has albums and songs and stuff, so she knows what she's doing. Her performance was all right. I mean, the drag moves, the dance moves were only able to accommodate what she can physically do, because she can't do the splits and stuff, so we shouldn't sort of judge her by the same standards almost, but you kind of have to. It wasn't as exciting, like the moves, but she can't do them all, so that's fine. Detox's one with the chairs was really good. Her rap was amazing. Oh my god, so good. Katya's though, my absolute favourite, hands down boots, the performance and the rap. The rap was everything. I need like a ringtone of where she's doing the whole Yekaterina Petrovna, Zamolodchikova, but your dad just calls me Katya. Loved it. It just told a story in just those two little lines. Very, very clever. Roxy's, the performance was okay, but the rap was really bad. Not that I'm a good rapper or anything, or that I know anything about rap whatsoever, but compared to the others, Queen, no, sorry about it. So they do that. They then come back on in their finale gowns. Alaska's was very pretty. It was kind of like, you know, old school, 1950s, going to the Oscars when you're Joan Crawford Mae West or other. Detox is like Tool. Come on, Tool. It's like Toolgate all over again. Gorgeous. For Detox, a very different kind of look. Beautiful. Katya's was like, so typically Katya, yeah, it was kind of like an ugly dress, but kind of like amazing at the same time. And her storyline was great. And Roxy's, oh my god, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful gown, like stunning. Like, Roxy knows how to turn out a pageant dress, so there we go. So then they're all talking, critiquing, blah, blah, blah. Rue gets a bit choked up. And yeah, and they basically just critique the girls, and they all get to sort of say why they should be America's next drag all-star. And Alaska pulls like the super fan kind of card, which I think is cute because she's tried every year since season 1. She's been trying to get on the show, and she got on season 5. And a lot of people thought it was only because Sharon had been on the year before. So I think she's always been in like that shadow of like having to prove herself. DETOX kind of went for the role model for the crazy kids kind of angle. KATYA went for the whole kind of you giving me confidence to be me angle. And Roxy was like, look, I know I'm not winning this, so sorry about it. She said something, but I can't remember what it was. I think that was it. When I came through the door, I was the winner. And I'm like, yeah, well, you did win the first one. And then, I mean, she was making jokes in the rehearsals about how she liked being behind the dancers. She's like, yeah, that's where I like to be. I'm like, I'm going to throw your read right back at you, honey. For someone who likes to call themselves a top, you sure do like being on the bottom. So then Ru was like, okay, I've got to pick 3 to lip sync. Roxy, bye queen. Can you imagine if she sent anyone home other than Roxy? So she's like, yeah, Roxy, like, we're not even going to let you lip sync. Like, BGB, bye, girl, bye. So then it's up to the last 3. Alaska, DETOX, and KATYA, the top 3 all-stars of the season, which is like, oh my god, we kind of all predicted it, to be fair. And they lip sync, and the lip sync is really like it was well executed, but it was a bit of a boring lip sync. They just all stood there, and I'm like, okay, it was, for a finale, you'd think it'd be something a little bit different. So yeah, they do that, and Alaska ruins her makeup, and I'm like, very much, your makeup is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And yeah, we get to the end, and Ru decides that the winner of All Stars 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race is, spoiler alert, Alaska! Alaska, Yolaska, Alaska! So Alaska has won All Stars 2. We all kind of saw it coming. I think in the last couple of episodes, because of the way that Alaska's come across, people have shifted their allegiances to KATYA. Just side note, kind of feel sorry for KATYA because she walked away without any cash. But she also walked away without having to kick anyone off. But she's done really well and she's won the fan vote. Like, out of like, real winners, let's talk. It's KATYA, Tatiana, Alyssa. They've all now got huge fan bases. Alaska, I think she's still got a huge fan base, but I think some people are like, a bit switched off because of the way that she's come across this season. Which I think is a shame. Personally speaking, I've said this before, I would be happy with any of them to win because they're all talented and they all deserve some recognition. So I'm cool with Alaska winning. I have no issue with that. Good for her. She worked hard. She deserved it. The only thing I have is that I do think the challenges were kind of geared towards Alaska. Whether or not that was intentional, we'll never know. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's been rigged. And no, it was, Alaska from the start. And you can easily read into that. Whether that was intentional or not, we don't know. But if it was intentional, it wasn't needed because Alaska would slay, like, in any way, shape or form. Like, the odds of Alaska losing and not winning the crown were just non-existent anyway, regardless of how much help she had. And when it does feel like she had some help or it was geared towards her, you then think, like, you feel a bit shortchanged because you're like, she doesn't need that. She doesn't need to be helped to get to that point. She can do it without you. And I would have preferred to have seen it a bit more like that. Where was the sewing challenge this season? Like, Roxy is a sewing queen. There was no sewing challenge, so she didn't get to show that side of her off. And there wasn't that much, like, a lot of it was comedy. Almost every challenge was a comedy challenge. From the commercials to the actual stand-up comedy routine, to showcasing your talent, which obviously is open to interpretation, but, Alaska was obviously going to go for comedy, and she's got a good excuse to do so. There was another one, wasn't there? The acting comedy challenge. Just everything was kind of comedy-based, and it was like, well, Alaska is the biggest comedy queen, so obviously she's going to do well with that, and maybe it would have been a bit more interesting to have a bit more variety in the challenges. I don't know. There we go. But yeah, kudos to Alaska. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Welcome to the winner's circle, darling. Very well deserved. She has done exceptionally well. Obviously, some very questionable critiques. We've discussed those. The 2-in-1 outfit that was not 2-in-1 or anything of that kind of nature. So there was plenty of others. But she totally deserved the crown regardless. I mean, if you just looked at the grand scheme of things, she has done the best, although she slipped once. So did Katya. DETOX fell into the bottom once, although I don't really believe she should have been there in the first place. Overall, though, fantastic season. One of the best seasons. It was so drama-filled. The roller coaster ride was absolutely mental. It was great to see the growth of some of the queens, and to show as well that the queens do grow outside of the competition. So some of them that have maybe fallen short at the beginning parts of the series, you know, people that went home first or second, they've still grown. And it's like, I think it highlights the fact that we need to keep watching them and keep supporting all the queens to see how they've transitioned into an even better drag queen than they were when they were on the season. So yeah, I think that's what we need to take away from All Stars 2. So yeah, it's all done. You know what I would love to see though, like a season of all the previous winners. That would be so much fun to see which queen is the queen of all queens. I would also like to see all the first eliminated queens back for a season. Whether or not that would include Chandler, I don't know, because she's already kind of had her redemption storyline. But that would be fun to have all the first eliminated queens come back, or early eliminated queens like first or second to come back and have a sort of a bust out for who can be the best out of being the worst. And then, oh my god, the awkward moment when like the first person off is someone, oh my god, that'd be horrible to be the first one off. They'd be like, you're the worst of the worst. Like, oh no. But it'd be cool to have like Kelly Mantle back and Vivacious and Pork Chop come back. Oh my god, it'd be so good. You know, Elisa Summers, be brilliant. So yeah, what did you think of the series? I thought it was wonderful. Over to you. What did y'all think? So leave me a comment in the comment bar below. Yes, slay the house down, Boots. So yeah, I think that's everything from me for this season. I don't think I'll be back next week for the reunion show, for doing the Kiki. I'll obviously be watching the reunion, but I don't think I'll be doing the Kiki for it. Unless it's like full of tea, and then I might like do it, but I have no plans to right now, I'm sorry. But fear not, there's only a few more months until season 9 starts, because it's already filmed, it's already been done. So I think it's already done. What are we in? October? Yeah, it's already been filmed. So it starts, I think, early part of next year. So only a few more months to wait until the Kiki comes back. So thank you so much for joining me this week and every other week if you have. Thank you for your support as always. And if you only watch my channel for the Kiki, then this is where we must part ways for the next few weeks. Although I do hope you carry on watching my channel. I've got some really exciting bits coming up soon. I'm sort of moving it into a slightly different way. I'm still doing some of the Kiki, I'm still doing the underwear, but I'm going to be adding in a whole new section of videos that kind of take a little bit of inspiration from the Kiki and from some other sources. So yeah, I hope you will still join me for that. So until next time, guys, be good, be safe. Oh, before that, make sure you're subscribed. Yes, make sure you're subscribed. Like this video, comment, follow me on social media, all that jazz. But yeah, until next time, guys, be good, be safe, keep out of trouble, stay fabulous, stay fierce, and yes, we have a new queen! Whoop, whoop. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye! Mwah. Ooh, girl, in this episode, the excrement most certainly hits the multi-bladed spinning device used to cool oneself. Or in other words, in this episode, shit really hits the fan.